All right, gentlemen, a very successful NFL draft live stream last night. Want to give a shout out to the team. Light show was incredible. The interaction was fantastic. I love the calls. We have live calls again today. If you called last night, the lines were jam-packed. And that's fantastic. You can call in today, tell us what you think about anything. Doesn't even have to be about sports. 1-855-236-3228 is the number. We may get to calls early. But last night, we had somebody make good on a bet. Actually, we had 3 people make good on a bet.
All 3?
It was a win for America last night. Mm-hmm. Except for the part where you were supposed to get shot in the back 3 times by a paintball gun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We had the gun in here. The logistics worked out. Called Nicolas Cage. Got it shipped over here from Singapore. Finally. All right, but Blaine missed with the first shot. And whether it's, call it gun error, human error, or just a plain old-fashioned error, there's a reason it looks like a Smurf jumped off a bridge and landed
that's still back there
on our pick tracker this month. But you did get hit once in the back. How's your back doing? Did it break the skin? And how pissed is your wife?
She checked on it last night. I think the skin was broken a little bit. Fine, though.
You said I couldn't come eat dinner for 6 months.
Is that what
she exiled you for 6 months?
6 months?
6 months, Dave.
Well, luckily, she's a forgiving person.
Him and Jay.
Maybe y'all need to talk. We need to talk about it.
Okay, well, maybe.
Appeal? Appeal?
Maybe you look into that camera.
VAR.
Look into that camera. Maybe you say you're sorry and beg for the
Darby.
For the.
I'm not sorry.
I heard it just went to 8 months.
Make it 12.
You know how she makes those Rice Krispies?
Make it a year.
Dude, you're not going to get any of those like pigs in the blanket she makes, but with like the great sausage in the big blanket.
And I would say you're playing with fire.
I have a person on the inside.
Really? We all do.
Well, I wouldn't say a person.
A baby?
Maybe a dog.
Oh, Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, pretty tight.
Back's good, boys. Back's good. Look, it hurt.
Well, we're glad. I ate the cranberry sauce. Blaine attempted to eat
I'll be honest with you.
Vegemite.
I'm not mad he missed on the first 2.
No. I don't think anybody.
I'm glad I did.
America.
You got hit with both those balls at the same time. Thank God you had that helmet on, because that first one's coming at your head.
Yeah, I'm glad I put the helmet on, but if you did hit me with 2 of them, I'd be here right now.
You would.
Same thing.
Oh, no.
Showing up.
You did Michigan proud.
Running on fumes and Black Rifle coffee.
Probably would have hurt you. Probably would have hit your life alert. You've fallen.
Life alert.
You can't get back up.
Is that an old get off my lawn guy joke?
No, that's
I'm
just
old.
Well, not really get off my lawn, just old.
Yeah,
Okay,
just like Louis C.K. says, like when he was younger and went to get his ankle looked at, they're like, yeah, we can do surgery on that. Now when he's like 40, they go in, they're like, no, you're just like that now. It's just broken.
Yeah. Now it's a year and a half. See you in a year and a half at dinner, Blaine.
Speaking about a year and a half,
Dragon.
Alabama quarterback Bryce Young leads the way in a wild first round of the NFL draft. That was a lot of fun last night. Lamar Jackson finally signs with the Baltimore Ravens, big-time contract for a big-time player. And the Boston Celtics close out the Hawks in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. I'm Jake Crane. It's Flamin' Dragon Friday, and by all the stars of Avalon, the under will hit. Welcome to Crane & Company. I thought there were multiple winners in the opening of the NFL draft last night, but the Eagles, in my opinion, were the biggest winners early. And we have a lot more draft to go. All right. They continued to use what I call the Georgia-Alabama line theory, and it's genius. It's creating a team out of both of the college juggernauts in Athens and Tuscaloosa. Hell, even before last night, the Eagles already had Jalen Hurts from Bama, Devontae Smith from Bama, Jordan Davis from Georgia, Nakobe Dean from Georgia, Landon Dickerson from Bama, and Josh Jobe from Bama. And now, after yesterday, they added Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter from Georgia. I mean, on defense, they're basically recreating the national championship defense from the Bulldogs. And when you really think about it, this line of thinking has to be the most efficient draft strategy ever. Think about it. If you wanted to create the best, ice cream makers, why would you not just draft the top guys at Ben & Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs? It only makes sense. And teams live to find diamonds in the rough. And that's cool. But creating a pipeline from Nick Saban and Kirby Smart is so simple, yet brilliant. At this rate, the Eagles look to be more stable than a place you keep horses. They have not only implemented a theory that is basically self-explanatory and self-efficient, but it's obviously working. And it's obvious that the Mega Ranger in Philadelphia keeps adding more weapons. David Cohn, you got Jalen Carter at 12?
Dude.
And then Nolan Smith at 30.
I mean, look.
I haven't seen robbery this good since Dillinger was on the loose.
I thought they were going to take Nolan Smith at 10. You had the same thing, right?
Yes.
I thought they could take Nolan Smith at 10. He was that type of talent. You go get Jalen Carter instead, and Nolan Smith falls to you at 30. I was texting my buddy who coaches for Washington, and I was like, I cannot believe what the Eagles are putting together right now. It's insane. It's insane.
But the way, again, I want to give the Eagles all the credit. And I think this is one of those situations, and we've talked about this with the NFL draft, where guys overthink things, right? They want to be the guy that gets the player out of nowhere that ends up being a star, right? That's like the dream. You go get a kid from, South Dakota State that ends up being an all-pro for 8 years, and you got him in the late rounds. But what is more simple than just saying, you know what? The two most dominant teams in college football are Georgia and Alabama. Why would we not just build a team out of that? It's so obvious and simple. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that nobody else drafts people from Georgia and Alabama, but not at the clip the Eagles are. I mean, this is a concerted effort, right? At this point.
Yeah, 4 Georgia players last two years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concerted effort.
But even apart from what teams they came from, right? Like these guys, they're evaluating everybody. They see the skill set. I don't care where Nolan Smith went to school. He's fallen to you at 30. We've seen how great he is. It's the Eagles are building this thing from the inside out. This is why I was criticizing the Falcons' pick at Bijan Robinson. I thought the Eagles were the type of team who could get away with a pick like that if they wanted to take running back at 10. Instead, what do? They bolster the front 7 still. Talking about winners and losers just in the first round here, we're going to do a complete, winners and losers next week after all of the rounds are done. The Seahawks, once again. I thought the Seahawks are really starting to put together another incredible draft. They go get the number 1 corner you were talking about.
With Tariq Woolen,
the kid from Illinois.
UTSA, who bought out last year.
And then a wide receiver doesn't come off the board until the Seahawks take Jackson Smith and Jigba at 20. We thought this kid might go top 10, maybe top 12. They get him at 20. Seahawks putting together another incredible draft here. I'm not sure what the Lions were doing with Jameer.
Worst team in the first round.
Shocked.
Worst team in the first round.
Shocked.
The Jameer Gibbs pick, I don't get, especially early with the defensive people that were on the board. The kid from Iowa, he's a good player. I still think it's a reach pick, but still the defensive talent that was on the board. If you're the Lions, I'm kind of disappointed in Dan Campbell. Usually they draft pretty well, especially from the last couple of years. The team I was excited about was the Houston Texans. All right, you walk away with this draft with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. I mean, those are 2 legit guys who I think are going to have a long, fruitful careers in the NFL. You made moves when you needed to make moves, and I don't feel like you gave up a whole hell of a lot for that 3rd pick either to go get Will Anderson Jr. So if you're a Texans fans, I mean, things are starting to look up. I thought the Los Angeles Chargers getting Quentin Johnson to add to that absolutely balling receiving core, especially with Keenan Allen. With maybe his contract's a little iffy for a certain amount of money, especially.
Look at Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. You got 2 other ones. Now it's going to get interesting with Austin Eckler. Because at the end of the day, who do you have to keep remaining on your team? That's Justin Herbert.
Oh,
right. So you got to clear space. So the Austin Eckler, the Baltimore Ravens getting Zay Flowers.
That was going to be
huge for them. Well, but still out there right now, you got to think DeAndre Hopkins is still floating out there right now. So we'll see what really happens with it. I wouldn't be surprised, right, to see him in a Baltimore Ravens jersey. And I know it's not getting talked about right now, but you think it's Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr., and DeAndre Hopkins in a receiving core. That's how you flip a receiver.
Yeah, and you had Mark Andrews now at tight end who's not having to carry the mail every single time. I think you're good enough at running back. I want to say this, and the Lions, obviously, everybody's going to be talking about that. What the hell are the Packers doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I'm all for being great up front. But, I mean, at some point, how do you not take a wide receiver or a tight end?
Packers beat the Packers.
With all the wide receivers on the board, all of them on the board still, there hadn't been one taken. There hadn't been a tight end taken. Poor Jordan Love. I don't think Jordan Love's going to be that great of a player. But if I'm Jordan Love if I'm Aaron Rodgers last night, I'm saying thank God. Thank God I'm out of this situation. because they have been an absolute joke when it comes down to being able to fulfill skill position wants to go win a championship. I'm almost convinced now that the Packers, I know they want to win, but it's almost like there's somebody in there that's like a plant or a mole that like the Lions snuck in there. It's like the Soviet Union, like they did it 30 years before. There's some old man sitting in there just, screwing the whole thing up. I'm not saying Van Ness is a bad player. I think he's a good player. But that's not what the Packers needed right off the rip for me.
I was a little surprised by the Packers as well as the Bucs too, going D-tackle there. Again, if the guys end up being great players, and again on the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, great player. Like, we're not talking about them not being excellent football players. It's just, what team are you going to, and what do those teams need?
Wasn't the best player left on the board and wasn't your most needed player at the time.
Exactly.
So, it's just a question.
And that's the intersection of what we're talking about. That with Ted Sundquist, the former
Mm-hmm.
Broncos GM last year when we had him on, talking about those wide receivers. All of them were still on the board, and then they go 1, 2, 3, 4. Talking about when teams start panicking and they see wideouts going off the board. But the fourth one, Jordan Addison, going to the Vikings. Again, I love that. I love Jordan Addison. Excellent wide receiver, just adds to the arsenal. But where did Minnesota need to get better?
Defense.
On defense. So are they going to address that for the rest of the rounds? And you got Jordan. Again, it could work out for him. It could be good, but
I really like the Miles Murphy pick to the Bengals.
Okay.
At 28. I always thought, people taking a tackle. If anything up front with the Bengals, that was fine. I thought they were going to go Brian Breesy, but they go another Clemson guy, and that's on the edge of Miles Murphy. They needed another guy, especially in the playoffs. Like, the thing about the Eagles think late into the playoffs of guys they need. What let the Eagles down at the end of the day? Their defense. All right. I know it's hard to stop Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if you got enough guys out there you can put on the field to stop Patrick Mahomes. But the depth the Eagles have, and it's the same thing we hit on last year. The guys they rotate in and out on that defensive line is disgusting. And Jordan Davis didn't even play last year.
Mm. I mean, the Kobe Dean, really, if we're going to be honest. I want to say this about the Bengals. Last night when they made that pick, I'm shocked they didn't take the best available offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. But then this morning, I was driving on the way here with nobody else on the road. I think I was in North Korea or something. And I thought, when you're in that league, that side in the AFC, at some point you have got to get somebody that can get after the quarterback that you're going to face. Think about who you're going to face down the stretch. I mean, we know it's been the Burrow versus Mahomes show. You got to throw bodies at Mahomes. That's how you affect him. So I get it. I think they were a little surprised maybe that Miles Murphy was still on the board at 28 after Will Anderson Jr. and then Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech went so early. I know Mike McDonald's a guy that's a jack to me from Iowa State went. I think maybe they were a little surprised he was on the board, but I get it.
Yeah, and I think that's a situation like we were just talking about where, hey, we wanted an offensive lineman there, but we ended up taking the best available because this guy could be really great for us. Now the rest of the rounds, let's really hone in and maybe take a couple different shots on offensive linemen. The last one I wanted to talk about was the Bills. Tight end Dalton Kincaid.
Brilliant.
Again, another team that needs to get better on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't mind this pick. Now you put him opposite Dalton Knox.
Dalton Knox, that's exactly right.
And you just give Josh Allen another weapon in a league now where we've seen the tight end be such an instrumental position.
Yeah, at some point we have to really, really start looking at the Bills as one of the top 3 most talented offenses everywhere with a mixture of offensive line, skill position, and quarterback in the whole league. Mm-hmm. What do the Bills not have? What do they not have? James Cook has worked out at running back. We know they're talented in that room. You add another, not just huge piece in between the 20s, but being able to have Dalton Knox and Kincaid out there at the same time, I mean, that's going to create a lot of matchup problems. It's one thing to have a guy that can cover one of them. Most defenses don't have a guy that can cover both of them when they're on the field. 12 personnel for the Bills, 1 back and 2 tight ends, however you want to call it, is basically like running 11 right now with 2 trees.
Which leaves Michael Mayer out there, a true tight end.
Yep.
Joey Porter Jr. is still out there, right? Or did he get picked up?
I didn't see Joey
Jr. get picked up as we head into the second round. And then Will Levis fell all the way out of the first round.
Y'all.
Well, I mean, been shocked that nobody reached on him. I think people are going to say the reach is the Colts taking Anthony Richardson. I think that's going to be the quarterback reach that they talked about. But I do want to give credit. All we talked about and all I talked about was who's going to make the mistake for Will Levis. So maybe a lot of y'all that thought Will Levis was this top 4, top 5 pick, the scouts are seeing what we saw for 2 years. When you turn on the tape, it doesn't lie. You got one pitch That's it. And it's the fastball. And you don't survive like that in the NFL. You can't be turnover happy. That's just how it works. And we all know, okay, who's to my right. And we're going to hit the under today.
I believe in it.
Y'all know who it is.
No.
This is screaming vodka!
Bow to your sensei. What's the over-under at?
2.5.
2.5.
Also, Blaine, there's a surprise for you if you look to your left in a box.
Those
Happy
to
left in a box.
Friday, Blaine.
What's in
Right
the box? What's in the box?
Sienna?
Julie?
If there's Vegemite in here, I'm walking.
Oh, it's all
I would
Vegemite.
never do that to you, except I definitely would.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
dragon mask.
He's a dragon. Put it on. Let
Look
me
at
see it.
that. Put it on.
Put it on. I want to see it. I want you to look me in the eyes.
Dragon mask.
No, actually, I'm okay. It's not movie quality.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. He is a dragon.
My God, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
We got
And
you one, actually. Jay,
What?
we got you. Yeah, we got you a dragon mask too.
Sorry, Blaine.
Look at this one. This
What
one's
is-
for you.
What is this? Was this for a cabaret? Am I
Now
going
we got
to-
two dragons.
Am I going to a party at the Great Gatsby's house? Oh, wow. I am a dragon. All right, we can't say Blaine's name.
Wow, this is getting weird.
Just said it.
Starting now.
What a sentence.
God.
What a sentence.
Get the mask off me. It's already throwing me off.
What
It's
a
already throwing me off.
sentence.
And we know the NFL draft was hot last night. We had a lot of prop bets. I hit the first four exactly for a little bit. Will Levis not getting taken fourth absolutely screwed me. But, man, you were pretty close.
Thank you.
No problem. It's hard for me
Appreciate
to not take you seriously with that mask on. But, guys, it's NBA playoff time. It's NHL playoff time. We have golf. We have UFC. We have college baseball. Hell, we have darts and all type of soccer. And you need to make sure that you have the best sports book to be able to bet it all if you live in an area where sports gambling is legal, which should be every area, but it's not, but we're working on it. And that's DraftKings Sportsbook. So, download the app and sign up with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in American money and bonus bets instantly, win or lose. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Somebody made bank last night on the way that Anthony Richardson went to fourth. You got.
Oh, I didn't hit Anthony.
You hit the Bryce and CJ one though.
back to back plus 260.
I hit Anthony.
I hit. Let's see what else we had. We had a couple good ones out there. Eagles go defensive line first minus 105. Raiders. What else do we have? Oh, Titans O line plus 100 was a nice one.
Yeah, Flamin' Dragon hit what was the Devils last night minus 1.5.
1.5.
on the
Didn't
road.
sell, boy.
Devils get up off me, but also win me money. But make sure you download DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, download the app. Use that code BOOSTER for a fantastic deal. It's the only sportsbook the Booster Club uses, so you're either cool or you're not. Figure it out. Speaking of Booster Club, what's going on over there?
Adam Long,
See, now it's messed up.
$10 donation.
Now it's messed up.
Thank you, Adam. Can you shout out my son, Rowan? He celebrates Flaming Dragon Friday every week. He's a real sportsman. Codename Mongoose.
Okay.
Mongoose.
Rowan, I want you to listen to me good. We appreciate you, and that's real. Other hosts on other shows outside of the Daily Wire will pretend to say, oh, happy birthday, whatever. No, you have a fantastic level up day. You are a member of the Booster Club. You're in the trust tree, and I consider you a Flaming Dragon, Rowan. And I want to give a shout out to our friend DW Out of Context. It's her birthday today.
Really?
Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Happy
DW
birthday.
Out of Context.
She
Happy
said
birthday.
They said they want us to sing them a song, okay? So real quickly, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Dear DW Out of Context, happy birthday to you.
That was good.
There we go.
I like that.
That's how they sing songs in communist countries.
Okay.
They just say the words.
I'll just believe you.
Okay, well, you should.
I'll just take your word.
Be a believer. What else?
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Rowan, it's not
You're
even,
not one to
Don't
tell me
ever,
right now.
don't ever look
Rowan,
at me.
it's not even your birthday. but
Oh, I thought you said it was
congrats.
Rowan's birthday.
Congrats on leveling up.
Hey, you know what? Every day's your birthday, Rowan, when you're in the Booster
Well,
Club.
now when it is your birthday, you save that and you clip that and you have a good birthday.
Yeah, don't ever look at me again with that mask on and say, what the hell was that?
Dad Bod chose me, $5 donation. Howdy,
Bod
Trust
chose
Tree.
me.
My wife reached level 31 today.
Okay.
Second son coming next month.
Man.
We love y'all. Thanks for what you do. It was a weapon malfunction equals a redo.
Ha 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 ha.
I agree with you. I think it should.
And congrats on your son.
It's on
Yes,
tape.
congrats on your. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Remember, without you, there is no us. And yeah, it's a great situation. It's amazing. People that come here and watch for one time, they're like, hey, man, I didn't even know this existed, but this is awesome. Well, now you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do. Word of mouth. It's a real thing. How do you think we found North America? Somebody's like, hey, man, I bet there's stuff over there. And somebody else like, hey, let's get on a boat.
They thought it was Indian.
And then bad stuff happened, but
They
now
call
we're
people
here
Indian.
doing Flamin' Dragon Friday. And I had to eat that damn cranberry sauce. Whatever sick pilgrim came up with that.
I don't want to hear it.
This guy got to eat a
you.
Thanksgiving.
You got to eat a Thanksgiving food. And first of all, apparently the Australians put this much Vegemite on
How
an
was I
entire
supposed to
piece of
know
toast.
that?
And she put it like it's Nutella.
Yeah, because you
on
lost a
that
bet.
thing.
We're not going to
See, I almost got poisoned.
Yeah.
I had to go to
It's
bed
not
at
gonna
2
kill
o'clock.
you.
I think you should cry
emptying
harder.
my stomach. You were just crying about cranberry sauce.
I wasn't crying about it. I took it like a man. I didn't
didn't.
whole-
I didn't spit it up in the
I know.
trash
Eat
can.
it, though.
I ate 18 bites of that. That's a
I
win
saw
in
your
my
baby
book.
bites. We have it on film.
Well, I didn't say they were adult grown human bites. And I know it's on film. Welcome to my life.
PW out of context. I know you hit it earlier, but you
Yes.
did do a $5 donation.
Thank you.
Reach level 30 today. What a better way to spend the morning than watching Crane & Co. Flaming emoji.
Yes. It's exactly
DW
how
out
we
of
get down.
context is awesome.
And that's in context.
That's, yeah,
Bars.
in context.
Gary Stike, $5 donation.
There's some new names in the chat. I'm liking this.
It's a painful night as a Colts fan. Why not go O-line or defense or receiver? Literally anything but Levis or Richardson.
I'll say this, and I get it. I'm not telling you shouldn't be pissed off. But if I had to choose between Will Levis or Anthony Richardson, I think you guys made the right choice from a ceiling standpoint. And it's really hard for me to take this serious when Flaming Dragon cannot drink coffee through his mask, but I'm going to attempt to do this. I think if you get, a lot of it is going to depend. You know you're not winning anything right now if you're the Colts. Let's be honest. You're not. You have that offensive line that was super overpaid with the way they performed last year. We know you have Jonathan Taylor. There's not a ton of great pieces you have on the outside, let's be honest. So it's a rebuild for the Colts. So now the question becomes, how do you surround Anthony Richardson and how quick he can develop into somebody that can be effective in all aspects of being a quarterback at the NFL level? So there's hope there. I don't want you to think I'm saying there's no hope. Not a lot, okay? There's not a lot of hope, but there's some there. If you'd have drafted Will Levis, no hope. No hope. You're Gotham City, and all of a sudden Bane rolls up and you're at the game. Oh no, we're under the city now. But you got Anthony Richardson, so it could be worse. Remember that.
I don't like the pick for the Colts. I don't think Anthony Richardson throws the football accurately enough to be an elite quarterback in the NFL, but I hope that I'm wrong. I would rather be wrong and see the young man have success. That's how I feel. And if you're a Colts fan, at least you can tell yourself this. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud were off the board.
Yeah.
It's not like your team, it's not like C.J. Stroud fell to your team and you still fell in love with Anthony Richardson's combine stats and took him there. So the top two quarterbacks, in my opinion, were already off the board. You needed to address that position, and at least now you have a guy with extreme upside, and if he doesn't pan out, look, you're going to win or lose based off all the rest of the picks you take and the free agent moves you take, you know? So you can overcome this if Anthony Richardson turns out to be a bust. Just keep doing what that franchise has been doing, which is putting good teams around their quarterback.
Yeah, and we make fun of the Colts. You know, people have made fun of the Colts drafting Anthony Richardson, but if you look at the Colts' track record, I trust the Colts when it comes to
I do
taking
too.
quarterbacks. You took Peyton Manning, you took Andrew Luck. Like, they have hit on more than they've missed when it's come to taking quarterbacks early in the draft.
That's what I said about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson during this whole negotiation. I'm like, first of all, they have a good track record when it comes to drafting players and running, you know, a championship franchise. And they're the only team that believed in him because every other team in that first round passed on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. All right, let's get to rapid fire.
All right, let's do it. NBA, the Celtics did close out the Hawks last night.
I mean, Atlanta just blew it down the stretch. I want to give the Celtics credit. But Atlanta did what the Celtics had been doing, turning the ball over late and letting the other team come back, because this game was back and forth throughout the whole game. Trae Young was really good until the second half. I know he had some plays that were nice down the stretch, but I mean, at one point, you're 1 of 11 from 3 in the second half. It just can't happen when your team relies on you that much. But let's make no mistake here. The Celtics were the better team. They were the better team this whole series. They finally stepped up late. I give Jason Tatum a lot of hell for how he closed his games. I thought he closed the game like a champ yesterday, but you got to do that in the conference finals. You've got to do that in the NBA finals, or the conference championship and then the NBA finals. First round, that's great, but we got some mega matchups. I'm so excited about this Suns-Nuggets matchup that we have coming up. To me, I think the Nuggets are the more physical team, but I do want to give a shout out to the Celtics last night for handling business in a tough environment on the road. And at the end of the day, the Hawks, Quinn and the boys, I thought it was a good showing, but they just don't have the depth right now to be able to compete with a team like the Celtics.
2 mega game 6s tonight. We got the Kings and Warriors, Grizzlies at the Lakers. You see both home teams closing out?
It's over with, baby. Put a fork in them, Lakers. And then the Warriors. Great season, though, Kings. Look, you should be happy about a lot of things. All right, made it to the playoffs. You just ran into the Warriors team, which is a dynasty. I mean, which is deeper than a well when it comes to just absolute experience, especially playoff experience. De'Aaron Fox, even with the broken finger, looked good his last game. But I think the Warriors are like Steph. They're killers. They're killers at the end of the day. I mean, turn to your left. Someone's got a pistol point at you. If it's Steph Curry, he's going to pull the trigger at the end of the day.
The Warriors, you are running into a team that specializes in playing well in the postseason. All right, not that the Warriors they've had incredible regular seasons, we've seen it. But their style, and Flaming Dragons brought this up multiple times, their style really translates to the postseason. They're physical enough to be even or win the rebound battle. They set the tone on defense with Draymond Green, even though they are somewhat finesse at the guard position when it comes to guarding people, pun intended. But they run you to death. It is a marathon. It is the Boston Marathon reincarnated in a basketball game. All Clay and Steph and Jordan Poole, if you watch them, what they do, they just run around. We've all played at the rec. We've all had to guard that guy that never stops running. And it sucks. It's tough. Imagine that, but at an NBA pace, and they're hitting shots. But I want to say something to Kings fans. You guys, and you're probably going to lose tonight, but welcome back to relevancy. Because this is not a one-hit wonder. This is not a one-off. When you look at this roster, as a Kings fan, you should be unbelievably excited for the future. You have a guy in De'Aaron Fox that can lead the troops, that has that physical edge to him. You've got Harrison Barnes, who I think still has a couple good years left in him. You got Malik Monk, who I like a ton. I think he's a guy that really, from a slashing and shooting standpoint, can get really hot in stretches and can be a legitimate scorer. And then Sabonis down low. You have a true 4. That's who he is to me. He's not going to be able to big boy everybody. You look at Looney, had 22 rebounds? Something crazy like that the other night. If the Kings can go get a big piece at center, this team can have a chance to win an NBA championship. And in a time where the West is an absolute fist fight from the top to the bottom, the Kings are here to stay. I've not been able to say that my whole life as a sports fan, and I couldn't be more excited for a fan base that has been nothing but drugged through the mud with terrible draft picks, horrible decisions, and being a little brother to the Lakers and then the upstart dynastic Warriors now. And so if you're a Kings fan, we had one call in last night who was kind of down. I understand being upset. You could still win the series. Yeah. Who the hell knows it's basketball? But you are here to stay. We're not the only one that knows it. Everybody in not only the Western Conference and the NBA know you're not just rolling into Sacramento, walking in their house, taking their fridge, taking the remote, and having your wife cook a mistake.
Let's see if they can steal one on the road. Maybe force
I hope
game 7.
so.
Anything could happen. You force a game 7. Even against
I
the
hope
Warriors.
so, man.
So we'll see. All right, NHL. Golden Knights do close out the Winnipeg Jets. That series is now over 4-1. And then the Devils, 4-0 over the Rangers, boys. They're going to force a game 6. And then the Lightning, 4-2 over the Maple Leafs. They force a game 6.
Hockey's crazy right now.
It is.
Hockey is crazy. It's schizophrenic. It's like the guy from Split. One day you're Patricia. The other day you're a 32-year-old man. Like, I don't know. Every time I look at the NHL, it's different. But I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes it interesting and it keeps it fun. When I look at the Devils, there's a lot of similarities to the Canes with me in the way they play. Now, I know they scored 4 goals last night, but the reason the Devils are winning is because of their defense. Okay, you got absolutely destroyed the first 2 games in your crib, in Jersey. You're fist pumping by the shore and giving up more goals than somebody who's living their dream, okay? And then you come back and shut the Rangers down. You have shut them down since then. It takes a lot of fortitude to drop the first 2 at home, go on the road, steal 2, come back at home where the Rangers kicked your ass, and take 1. I tell you what, we had a caller call in the other day and ask which team out of New York, the Giants, the Mets, the Yankees, and the, losing my mind, Devils. Which one of those teams was going to win a championship first?
Jets.
Man, I don't know.
Jets.
The Jets.
I don't know. I know we said Jets, but Blaine's, he said Devils yesterday. We're still in the under, David. I need you to pitch a perfect game.
Look.
I need you to pitch a perfect game. I need you to pitch a perfect game.
An hour left.
I know you got to talk.
But I love what I'm seeing from the Devils and in the playoffs in hockey.
4.
Can you sell, baby?
4, count them, 4 game 6s tonight, fellas. We got Canes Islanders, Bruins Panthers. Bruins still trying to close that thing out. Stars Wild, like we talked about last night on the call-in, and then Avs Kraken, and that one's in Seattle.
It's wild.
I'm loving it. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline, but I know I'm loving it. And you know what else I love?
What do you love?
Our friends over at Indochino. You want to know why? Huh?
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because whether it's a wedding, regardless of the formal event you have coming up, we know how much the cost of attendance, flying there, especially now with the economy, how much it costs. You want to save money where you can. And looking sharp at a wedding or event shouldn't be expensive. And with custom suits from Indochino, you can look sleek without breaking the bank. Customize every detail on your suit, shirt, dinner jacket, and more. Indochino offers a range of colors from traditional black or gray to burgundy or olive. And they make it easy to get your fully customizable suit right from home. And you're going to be able to see me in an Indochino outfit very, very soon. You want to know why? Because the kid's getting married.
Yeah, he is.
All right, on May 20th. I got everything customized. And that's the coolest part about Indochino. It's super, super easy. You can set up to go see it at a showroom. You can do it online. It's so unbelievably easy. And if you go, to Indochino.com, that's Indochino.com, and use our code BOOSTER, you get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code BOOSTER. It's wedding season, baby. The smart ones at least, because they're not getting married during the fall because the game's on. So with Indochino, make sure you check it out. If you, like I said, you can shop online or you can visit a showroom. It's all customizable, not just a suit, how you go about getting it, and it's cheap. Again, we don't push products that we don't use or we don't like. The people over at Indochino, they're fantastic. So use that Booster Club promo code.
Look, as someone who's been taller my whole life, it's impossible to find clothes that fit, man. And it's better when your clothes fit you properly. I love this Indochino, and I have the olive green shirt.
Yes,
I got tailored, and maybe something else for your wedding that I might bust out. But
showing up in style?
That's neither here nor there.
You do know how to get dressed up.
But are you excited? Are you pumped? Under a month to go.
I'm ready to go. Like people say, people get cold feet. I'm getting hot feet. I'm ready to get this.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to put this bun in the oven.
I got the invite to the rehearsal dinner, by the way.
It's going to be awesome.
Hey, I'm already there.
Hey, we got to work on the song thing I'm doing, too.
We got to do that. Let's talk about it after.
Rhinoceros.
We can stop the show right now.
I need y'all strumming the guitar. We need to work on it. Reed asked me about it the other day.
What song are you singing?
I'm not talking to you.
Why would you have me say that? Reed doesn't even know what song I'm singing.
Cool. What song are you singing?
Goodness gracious.
Did you write a song or like?
No. It's a song somebody else wrote. Oh. I mean, I could write one. Take about 30 minutes. It'd be great.
Somewhere there's a songwriter who's like, I could be a special teams coordinator for sure.
It's like 30 minutes.
It's easy.
That's all
he couldn't.
It's not offense or defense.
Look, writing a song is a lot easier than coming up with a punt block that's going to work. I can promise you that.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I'll write a song and bring it in next week.
Okay.
It'll go #1 in the charts.
Sure.
Really?
Wow.
What?
You should have been doing that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm like to do
it'll go #1 in the charts. What charts?
Huh?
Like,
See, now you're asking the right questions.
Which chart?
Make-believe
Yeah,
charts.
David, it's so
The medical.
easy, man.
The medical chart.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Don't challenge me.
Oh, hold on. I have a couple more rapid fires here. Okay, so Alabama did go ahead and sign Tyler Buckner, Notre Dame transfer. I mean, do we have anything else to say about it than what we said this week?
Mid.
I think it just shows you that Alabama is somewhat vulnerable at quarterback right now. That there's been times in the past where Alabama hasn't had the best quarterback in the country, and they've still won a national championship. What's the difference between then and now? Well, Alabama is not just dogging everybody else from a personnel standpoint. They could get away with it. They were so much better than you at every other position group, including the offensive line and defensive line. They just needed somebody that could not wreck the car. They didn't have to go the fastest. They didn't have to be the best driver. They just needed somebody that was not going to crash the car. Well, now that's Georgia. I would say Michigan's up there. I would say Ohio State's up there. At the top, Georgia's the top dog, and it's kind of leveled out everywhere else. So can you get away with having an average quarterback, which that's what Tyler Buchner is, and you're not bringing him in to sit the bench. I don't care what anybody says. He's in there to compete and possibly win the job. You're bringing him in because you feel like you need him. Nick Saban does not deal in the world of distractions. So having said that, it looks like you're new at left tackle. You're going to be new at quarterback. You're playing in a very tough league. You're actually fortunate in a year that not everybody's returning a quarterback. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think Alabama wins 9 games. I think they go 9-3. I don't think they
no
win
matter what the
double-digit
quarterback
games this
situation
year.
is.
With the ones they have on the roster right now. I'm not saying all of a sudden Van Dyke gets in there. It could be different. But I think Alabama goes 9-3.
Does one of these kids transfer out?
You would think, right?
Yeah, for sure. At least one. I can't wait to sit here and watch Alabama win 11 games.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
It's going to be great. I mean, I think they won 11 games. I know they had Bryce Young, but they're most penalized defense in college football.
Well, see,
They still won 11
but you
games.
can't. You can't say, well, I know you had Bryce Young. He was the number 1 player in the NFL draft. Bryce Young saved their ass so many times. He's gone.
I mean, 9 games. Is that even? I guess that's a letdown for Bama.
It is, and that's a great compliment to Bama. But I think they could lose. I tell you what, Texas coming to the crib. Week 2.
Moscona came on here and said they're going 7-5. So we'll see.
Don't do Matt like that. Don't do Matt like that.
Going 7-5.
Don't do it. It is Flamin' Dragon
Dynasty's
Friday.
falling apart, Matt. Matt wants a front row seat for it. I get it.
But
I think Bama will be fine.
Again, fine. I would love Auburn to go 9-3. That'd be great. If we're to the point, if you get to the point of being upset about 9-3, that's a first world problem. That's a great problem to have. Now, coming off not winning it, after Georgia winning it 2 years in a row, I can understand why Alabama fans would be upset with 9-3 because we know what the standard is. But I mean, damn, man. Talk about aiming for the moon and landing on a star.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
All right, so Brittney Griner, who we know was arrested a year ago in Russia for hashish oil. She was playing basketball internationally. We know the whole prisoner exchange for Victor Bout, the merchant of death. We lost that trade. But she is back, gearing up for the WNBA season. She had a press conference yesterday. Can we run this clip so I can let the guys see this?
I'm no stranger to hard times, so...
Man,
See, you cried and you made me cry.
You tried to smuggle a weed pen into Russia.
Just digging deep, honestly. You're going to be faced with adversities throughout your life. This was a pretty big one, but I just kind of relied on my hard work, getting through it. I know this sounds so small, but, dying in practice, and just hard workouts. You find a way to just grind it out. Just put your head down and just keep going. Just keep moving forward. You can never stand still, and that was my thing. Just never be still. Never get too focused on the now and just, looking forward to, what's to come.
So Brittney Griner went on to say, I won't be playing overseas or internationally anymore unless it's in a special circumstance with the U.S. national team or the Olympics or something like that. And I just wanted to get your guys' opinion here on this because it seems like in today's age, very easy to criticize America, especially when you haven't left. You go outside of America for a little bit and encounter other countries and you come back and everyone is grateful to have Brittney Griner back for sure. That makes you appreciate America a little bit more, no?
Yeah, it does, but I don't think nobody will learn their lesson on this. I think people that hate America, that live here, are going to hate America regardless. Now, when it comes to Brittney Griner, I'm 100%. I'm glad Brittney Griner's back. I am. I was hoping we'd get her back. I wish we'd have gotten the other people back that are over there, Paul Whelan and people like that it seems nobody in the media cares about. But all of a sudden, if you're gay or something like that, they'll send the Avengers and the A-team to go get you. Here's my problem with Brittney Griner. It's hard for me to feel sorry for you when you tried to smuggle a weed pen into a country that we know is a run by criminals. It's run like Grand Theft Auto over there, and we're in a proxy war with them in Ukraine. I mean, how stupid are you? I mean, so what happens if I try to smuggle an American flag in North Korea and I know I can't have it? It's called not. I'm not going to go walk straight into Compton and pretend to be a Blood or a Crip. Like you want to know why? Because my brain. So
I'm good content.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you tried to smuggle a weed pen into Russia and they caught you, and now you're a hero. You're not a hero. A lot of people have faced adversity. You're a celebrity. How much money are you worth? How much more money are you worth now when you got detained by the Russians than you were before this? How much more? You profited from it. And like I said, I'm happy that you're back and fine. But we had to trade a legitimate terrorist for you. A basketball player. A WNBA player. Like, we're not afraid to call a spade on here, but the problem I have is a clip we didn't show where they asked Brittney Griner about transgender people playing in sports. Now, the way people are phrasing that question is bull to me. They say, oh, well, they're not wanting transgender people to play in sports. That's not what it is.
But that's how they have to win. It has to be a semantic manipulation or else they can't win their
We're not saying, if you're transgender, that's fine. Play against, nobody's saying, oh, you're gay or transgender, you can't play. No, you have to play against the people that you are biologically born as. Stop twisting the words. It's because you people are sick. It's because you're sick. Nobody's taking anybody's rights away. But you're trying to let dudes play against girls, clowns. That's not. You can't go take away other people's rights and then bitch and complain about getting rights taken away from you. It's the most selfish, narcissistic group of people, and I can't wait for this to backfire on them. Couldn't happen to a better group.
Well said. Well, I think about this, like, with the Brittney Griner thing, like, I guess she's just saying what she went through while she was over there, right? I mean, I get it if she's saying, well, she had to keep moving and not be still and stuff like that. I mean, I don't feel bad for you.
I don't either.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got yourself into it. I'm glad you're back, for sure, 100%. But hopefully you see some more appreciation for the country after what she just went through.
Yeah, it's like me setting a house on fire, then putting out the fire and wanting credit for putting it out.
And if she has a better appreciation for America after this, do you think that can have a net good on the country and other people will see that through her? Or are you with Jay?
No, I feel like there's people who wake up just trying to find reasons to hate America, right? And some people, I mean, they'll always, no matter the facts, no matter what it is, or how great this country is, they're going to wake up and find something to complain about.
Yes. And if you want to complain about something, you can go ahead and call 1-855-236-3228. We can talk about the draft, all that other stuff. Anything left there in rapid fire, Connie?
Yeah, well, you guys had a Sean Payton video you wanted to show me. I hadn't seen a Sean Payton video yet.
Hold on. Did we?
What did Sean Payton do?
Well, let's just say
Broncos Super Bowl.
Is this a new video or an old video?
This is the first time I've ever seen it, and this really looks like Sean Payton taking a huge bong hit. Let's go ahead and roll the tape.
What happens when you have to deal with Russell Wilson every day?
Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Sean.
Dude, that's not a little bong either.
Sean.
He is ripping it.
Keep going.
He is ripping it.
That's not Sean's first rodeo, buddy.
Yeah, look, I don't think that's the first time Sean Payton.
Is that Sean Payton?
Yeah, it is Sean Payton.
And that's new video?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. His thoughts. I want to, before
the Broncos
Flaming
didn't even pick in the first round.
Flaming Dragon, but before
Broncos,
you
Super
opine,
Bowls.
I want to hear David Cohn's old-ass thoughts on this.
I'm shocked. I'm speechless. I thought maybe after a first round you got your guy or something.
Welcome to Denver, buddy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Denver.
Colorado.
Don't look under the airport.
Yeah.
How'd this get out? Who's in your house?
Somebody's not going to be there
Someone
anymore.
made a mistake.
Yeah.
Who's behind enemy lines?
Somebody's not.
And there's always one.
And you know who that was if you were in that room by where they were sitting. Okay, so I don't know. Somebody may disappear real quick. I'll say this. I've really got no problem with it. I've got no problem with it. And here's my thing on marijuana. Anything in life that you abuse, look at people that eat themselves, to weigh 800 pounds. You can abuse anything and it can be bad for you. What I don't understand is how you can sit here and make a case that alcohol should be legal if you're a certain age and in a certain, fit certain criteria. But marijuana shouldn't. But marijuana is illegal. I don't understand that argument. People are going to abuse what they're going to abuse, and if you abuse anything, it can hurt you. But I don't have a problem with Sean Payton, who we know is unbelievably functioning, unbelievably talented, a great football mind, ripping a bong hit.
So what about the players? Because the players still aren't allowed, right?
I think it's
Josh
ridiculous.
Gordon,
I think it's ridiculous. So you'd rather give them pills? Here, take all these Loratabs, but God forbid you smoke a plant, that's been here longer than any of us.
We should get Ricky Williams on to talk about that.
That'd be
like
good.
This feels like a trap conversation.
What do you mean a trap conversation?
Feels like a trap. Shouldn't smoke weed, kids. Don't smoke weed.
I'm not telling the kids to go smoke weed.
Sean Payton
Flaming
shouldn't
Dragon.
smoke weed. He shouldn't do it. Don't do it. It makes you lazy. Don't do it. You turn into a lazy guy. The only people the thing about weed is it affects each person differently. Some people get really lazy on it.
So does
Some
alcohol.
people get really creative on it. That's why most people who make music smoke weed. So I feel like it affects people differently. I got to the point, look, in high school and college, I used to smoke weed, especially I went to Western Colorado.
Yeah, come get him. Come get him. He's here. He's right now. He's sitting down right now.
But it got to a certain point in my life where, I just didn't need it or didn't want to do it anymore because I kind of saw myself. I couldn't really function how I wanted to function.
But do you have a problem with other people? Do you have a problem with
I'd
Sean
rather
Payton?
you do that than get drunk and get behind a wheel anytime.
I agree with that 100%.
And also, is this habitual too, or is this just a
Yeah,
one-off? I don't know if
the way
Sean
he
Payton
did that, it
is
doesn't look habitual to me. It wasn't that smooth.
Is marijuana keeping you from your responsibilities? I think that would be the ultimate.
Which in anything could be. There's tons of gambling, cheating on
Handle
people.
your responsibilities first and foremost.
Definitely. If you're handling your responsibilities, I think that's a fantastic way to put it, David. But speaking about responsibilities, and I don't want to talk, death is never an easy conversation to have. It's never fun. But, the way I look at it is, we're getting married. We want to have children. And I want to make sure that I leave what I've tried to earn and what I want to leave as a legacy to my family. I want to control what happens to my stuff and what I've accrued, not the state. And our friends over at Epic Will understand that there are certain things in life that you have to do to protect your family. You get life insurance, you save for a rainy day fund, a college fund, and you write a will. And Epic Will isn't for people who are already wealthy with a massive estate. These people need an attorney. Epic Will is for the people who are building their estate, like us, because you know what they say, it ain't an estate unless it comes with a pool and a gate. And it is for people who are just getting started. They provide a simple and secure platform to create a legally binding will in minutes. It's a user-friendly interface that allows you to easily customize your will and ensure your assets are distributed according to your wishes. And unlike traditional law firms that charge high fees for will drafting, Epic Will services are affordable and transparent. So go to epicwill.com/booster to save 10% on Epic Will's complete will package. That's epicwill.com, promo code BOOSTER. We have a lot of fun on here. We joke around, we have a good time, but there are serious things. And this is something if you haven't got done, I don't care if you're the man of the house, the woman of the house, if you dress up like a balloon and walk around the park, if you're still responsible, you need to know where your stuff's gonna go when you're gone because there's 3 things that are certain. Number 1, the Eagles are going to draft players from Georgia and Bama. Number 2, you're going to pay taxes. And number 3, we're all going to die. We're all going to die.
Well, I mean,
but
quit dressing up like a balloon and going to the park, all right? We need to go ahead and get that out. Stop doing that.
Dressed up like a balloon or in a balloon?
That's freaky. Don't do that. That's like the whole clown saga that was going on.
What about wearing a dragon
Y'all remember the
mask?
clown saga that was going where people would just dress up at clowns?
Vaguely.
And at midnight or some random street, they'd walk around and just stand.
No, I'm telling you.
Wear a mask on their face?
I'm telling you right now, if I was driving down the street and a clown was in the road, like doing what that, I'd run him right over.
No, I wanted that to happen.
Really?
Like I was out looking for it.
What about if they had like a dragon mask on or something?
That's not a clown,
Hop on in.
All right,
What if
that's
they
not a
just-
clown.
you just
If I
saw
saw a
someone-
dragon on the middle of the street, I get out and become friends with it.
Don't engage too much. Don't engage too much. Here's where he gets you.
That is, thank
Here's
you.
where he gets you.
Thank you for pulling me
Team
back
effort.
in there, right
We're
there.
my mouthing him right
You see
here.
that? You see that?
Okay.
Y'all don't deserve that.
Booster Club.
What's that handshake from?
Booster Club. It's rocket power. Grow up.
Okay, dang it. James Stallings with a $2 donation says, Mel Kiper has an infatuation with Will Levis.
Mel Kiper, wrong again. You spend all those hours up in your castle in Transylvania, drinking blood and never dying, and you can't get any of these right. Can't get any of them right. Mel Kiper, Will Levis, the top 5 pick. When y'all gonna stop listening to this
Wrong
guy? That guy from
again.
the Colts in like 1982 was 100% right on. And look, it's not an easy thing to do, predict where people go, but this man misses all the time. Who misses more? And look, I'm sure Mel Kiper's a good guy. All right, I know he likes to drink iced coffee. Shout out to our boy Frank Caliendo. Todd. But at some point, stop calling this man an expert. An expert on what? Missing? That's what he's an expert on. Not an expert on fish or math. And for sure not the NFL draft. This man's mock draft is a mockery. It's the Macarena.
It's hard to get the picks right. It's hard to get all the picks right. I get it.
But Dave, you do one thing.
I get it. All year. That's what you're known for.
The whole year. You've been doing it for 30 years.
I get it.
And you're not even close.
I'll tell you, man, I hated sitting there watching this kid, Will Levis, have to sit through the entire first round because it's not his fault. He will probably end up getting drafted where he should be drafted, but it's because of the media hyping him up, saying, no, you're a certified top 5 pick, and having him sit there, at front and center when he could have been at home, he could be with his family. I don't know. I felt bad for him. I mean, he's going to be very, very wealthy, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'll feel bad for you for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then see what you're worth.
It's tough to sit because I'm like, man, he's falling, and he's probably going to get drafted where he should rather than in that top 10, top 5.
The tape doesn't like, and how all this S2 test, CJ Stroud's falling. It's a trap. This is why you watch Crane and Company. It's a trap. Booster Club.
All right, let's go to Thomas Briscoe Jr.
TBJ.
$5 donation. Just want to let you know that I called Black Rifle on Monday or Tuesday and told them I put my full support behind the Flaming Dragon Brew. Thomas, you are an absolute soul.
I tell you what, Thomas.
Are you under, Tommy?
I get excited when you say things like that. All right, remember, 1-855-236-3228. There's something else I want to talk about here. One of the reasons we started a sports show is because I'm so sick of the race baiting that goes on that 4-letter network and these other sports mainstream media people. You have 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 4 picks last night. And you have this headline that was tweeted out from ESPN. 3 black quarterbacks in the top 5 picks in the NFL draft. Here's what I don't understand, and nobody's been able to explain this to me. All you hear about is racism. Everything's racist. Everything ESPN talks about, it's racist. White people are the devil. They're the worst. And you tell people to not be racist. You tell people to not judge people based on the color of their skin or immutable characteristics, by the content of their character. But yet, every single time, without fail, you bring race into everything. So my question to you, ESPN, and I mean this sincerely, how in the hell can you preach to people to not be racist or not to see color when everything you do is oriented to make people see things through the prism of the color of their skin? You are the racist. This is racist. Why not just 3 quarterbacks, 3 young men that have an opportunity to change their lives for the better because they have worked hard, they are talented, and they deserve this shot? Why can't they just be people? Why do they have to be black quarterbacks? I don't care if you're black, blue, green, yellow, or a dolphin. If you work hard and you grind and you do the right things and you're a good person, good things I still believe happen to good people. And I could not be more excited for these young men. And I just hate what ESPN does and how divisive they are. This is so unnecessary. But again, I will ask, how are you going to sit on a pedestal and preach to me about not seeing color when you guys are the kaleidoscope of all of it? That's my question.
I get it. Yeah, you shared this with me, and it was standard operating procedure. You say this is racist. I don't see this post right here by itself being inherently racist. It is the double standard on the flip side of it, where you wouldn't see this same post from ESPN, say if it were 3 white guys
then that's racist
in the NBA draft. But I'm saying it's not just this by itself. It's the double standard that you.
Well, yes, but people know what I'm.
But the obsession with just this one aspect of your character and your personality or your intersectionality. For instance, Bryce Young there, I may have more in common with Bryce Young than he has in common with CJ Stroud.
He's a person.
Or with Anthony Richardson. But there's only one aspect of personality that we seem obsessed with now. And in the year 2023, I thought we were moving past that.
David, I don't think they want us to move past it. I think they want us to all hate each other. I'm being honest. I think they want us to all hate each other. And people will look at this. I mean, you should have seen the response on Twitter. All I tweeted out was, why are you making this about race? Why can't it be about the story of Bryce and CJ and Anthony Richardson fighting through adversity and making it and living out their dream or having an opportunity to do it? I don't care if that was Will Levis in that picture. I don't care if that was Max Duggan in that picture. We have to start seeing people for people, not race, ESPN, because all you're going to hear, just wait. The next time a black head coach doesn't get hired, they'll call the NFL racist, where now 5 of the 6 highest paid players are black. The top 3 quarterbacks that win are black quarterbacks. And they sit here and push this out. And then on the other end, say the NFL's racist. So what do? They play both sides of it. And ESPN does more to further racism than just about anybody.
But the counter to your first statement is, and this is what I've been seeing on the post that you were talking about with the comments is, well, no, we have to celebrate blackness. Like, blackness should be celebrated, and black quarterbacks especially were discriminated against for a long time, so we need to put this to the forefront. But again, back to the point that I mentioned before, then should we celebrate whiteness in other areas, or are we only going
Riley
to
Moss,
celebrate
white DB
certain
at the Senior Bowl?
ethnicities?
Can we just celebrate success?
That's my whole point.
And that's the biggest question. Like, I thought, like, this could have been something, if this happened in 1965 or 1968 or something, you could see a justification for talking about it in this manner. But
the whole point of the movement was to see everybody equally.
Yeah, that's my
so a
whole
white kid
point.
and a black kid could play together, and they're just what? They're just kids, right? And like, they're coming after sports, which pisses me off the most, right? So ESPN's especially a political show. It's what it is.
It is.
But keep doing it, please. It's going to bring more people over here. These are just 3 really good, 1, really great people, right? And 2, extremely good quarterbacks, man. I could give a rat's ass for the color of their skin. White, purple, yellow, it doesn't matter. It's about the content of your character. And from these 3 guys, that's the great things I've seen. So I'm happy for them, man. Go ball out in the NFL.
Yeah, best of luck to you guys.
The funniest part is the second that one of them doesn't get a mega second contract and become the highest paid player in the NFL.
Well,
then all of a sudden it's discriminatory.
It's the Brian Flores thing. He's suing the NFL for being racist, but he just took another job as the DC in the NFL.
Working in the NFL.
Yeah, who in their right mind has a company? If I worked for a company that I found out was racist towards me, and they're like, no, but you can have another job, not the one you want, and then you take it? No, you're full of it. You're full of it. Bill texted the wrong Brian. Sorry, it happens. I've texted the wrong people before. Thank goodness it wasn't the wrong thing to the right people. That's the real question. All right, I'm ready to get to some calls if you want to hit the
get some donations. We're running through the chat right now. Sometimes this thing loads. If I didn't get your donation, just put a message down on the bottom, and I'll try and get back and get to it. Owen Donahue, $5 donation. My worst round 1 picks, the Titans not getting a receiver, the Steelers not getting a cornerback, and whatever the Lions were doing. What do you boys think? I'm not upset with the Titans taking a tackle.
I'm not upset with who the Steelers took. I'm not upset with what Pittsburgh did. I think Pittsburgh's going to end up finding a way to get Joey Porter Jr., speaking about DBs, speaking about corners, who he may end up being the best DB in this draft. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, when I watch him, you go back and watch his tape at Penn State, man. He obviously has great instincts. His father was an unbelievable player, Joey Porter. I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be fine, but the Lions is still baffling to me. The Lions and the Packers, I don't understand.
Also, while we're talking about DBs, Emmanuel Forbes did end up going 16.
I was so pumped.
We didn't know if he'd make it in that first 15
he deserves
we were covering.
It, man.
He's so good.
He deserves it.
So good.
He may be him. I think Joey Porter has the best instincts. Emmanuel Forbes is right there.
Also, to see the Pats trade back and still get Christian Gonzalez, I thought was a great move too.
Oh, it's that's what the Patriots do. They're going to squeeze every inch out that they could possibly squeeze. It's the Bill Belichick way. You know, we trade back, and then Christian Gonzalez was still there, and we're pretty excited.
Yeah, they traded back to 17. Yeah, it's going to be good. Let's go to Christina Hopkins with a $5 donation. Thank you, Christina. Needs everyone prayers for a successful ACL surgery for my 14-year-old daughter on Wednesday. We're praying for no meniscus damage. Thank you to everybody, Christina. You are in our prayers.
Hey, prayers sent. It's the technology. So it's amazing how much people can come quicker. People can come back from knee injuries, especially if you're young. Go ahead and getting it out of the way, getting that thing fixed up. So hope it goes well and you have a speedy recovery.
Let's go to Cole Frink, the donation.
He is.
Savant.
Look, Cole's a savant.
$2 donation. He says, Jake, I expect a song on Monday.
Expect a song? Oh,
Yeah,
good. You'll have
your
one.
Song on Monday.
You'll have one.
Excellent.
It's going to be excellent.
Yeah.
It better be.
I'll just write a country song.
No. Not only excellent. It's number 1 on the charts. Boys.
Yeah. Okay, challenge me that I won't have a song. Now, y'all may have to come over and play the guitar, because when it comes down to
We may have to come over and write it for you.
No. I'll take care of the lyrics.
I am challenging.
I'll take care of the lyrics.
Hold on. You said a song. A song is not just lyrics. A song is mostly melody. Are you going to come up with the melody too?
If I have somebody sitting around and I say, I want it to sound like this, and then we work it, yes.
Watch.
Why don't
okay.
you sit around?
Number one
Rhino,
on the chart.
Rhino
by
lives,
yourself.
Rhino lives
No,
2 minutes
don't go
from
help
me.
him. He can write a
Yeah.
number 1 chart-topping
He
song.
said he could do it himself.
I can't play the
Ryan,
guitar.
He wants you to go over and write a song for him.
I want him to come over and play the guitar.
Number
That's
1
fine.
on the charts, bud.
Okay.
Number
All right,
one.
we'll see.
All right,
I
it's gotta
can't wait.
it's gotta
I won't
keep-
pass out before I play at Oxford either.
Let's go to Cal Moore at $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cal. Says, howdy, boys. Cowboy here. Stayed up late to catch the draft coverage, and it was hilarious. Love what y'all do. Tell everyone in my office about to help on the hashtag quest for the hundo.
Yes, trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Tell everybody, appreciate you staying up. That was a great time last night.
So much fun.
We never lose a party.
So much fun.
All right, let's go to get off my lawn _VP. Like that. It says Steelers killed their first round pick, grabbing the beast offensive tackle to protect Pickett's blind side. Now it's time for a draft to shut down corner and Joey Porter Jr. with the 32nd.
I think that's who it
I thought the
is.
Steelers were going to go tackle. I had the Steelers moving up to 8.
And you know what I love about the
Get Paris Johnson.
You know what I love about the Steelers? They try and win the thing pretty much every year. I mean, they said, all right, new generation at quarterback with Roethlisberger being done. Here's Pickett. But the Steelers aren't one of these teams like, oh, we'll just wait for a year. They try to win it every year, and I respect the hell out of that. So let's get to calls.
Let's do it. Matthew from Greenwood. What's going on, Matthew?
Greenwood?
Hey guys, Heartbroken Hog here.
Nice. What's up?
So before I get to my question about the draft, I got to call out something that was definitely mid last night.
Great.
The Flaming Dragon himself.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, roast him.
Will really?
Spitting up his bet in the trash can.
I know.
First of all,
Something a true Flaming Dragon would never do.
Did you see the
what? No.
weakness
We're gonna get this right. All right. What was the bet?
I thought we
verbatim.
already established
The bet was
can't
you
go
have
back.
to take 3 bites of this whatever.
You nibbled
What
the
did I
crust.
do?
Look at.
What did I do?
He's gonna try
I
and
took 3 bites of it.
He'll
all right?
swallow his way out of this
took
one in a
3
second.
Fang fang?
But no, this ain't a fang
Now,
situation.
yes, it he'll
This ain't a fang
swallow
fang.
this.
This ain't a fang fang.
It didn't
all right?
happen,
I got told I had
nigga.
to take three bites. I took 3 bites. There's nothing about swallowing it, right? I took
at
3
this.
bites and chewed it up. So if we're gonna get down to the letter of the law, heartbroken
He's
hog,
always
I
finding
did
a
what
way
I did
around.
on my bet.
You know what that
all
would
right?
be like? That would be like me going back there with a bulletproof vest on, taking
Yeah.
my paintball shot, which I
No,
could
it
have done.
wouldn't.
You know why? Because
Yeah,
the security
you know-
guards offered it up to me.
Dave, you had a
offered it up-
shirt on, brother.
They offered it up to
You
me.
had a shirt on.
A shirt?
If you're really about
A
it, if
compression?
you're really about it, you'd have took that damn shirt off.
A shirt.
Yeah.
Compression.
Compression what?
G.
Should have
Compression
that mask
what?
on. Here's
Shirt.
the Flaming
I
Dragon.
agree with you.
Wow.
Wow.
Give us those 2 dragons.
Yeah.
Give it
Hey, I
Exactly
can't wait
right.
to watch y'all win 6 games this year. Good luck.
See, now you cut.
See, now, hey,
Talking about cutting
Matthew,
down
that's
trust
how you
streams.
know.
No,
Matthew,
look.
That's how you know you got him
Flaming Dragon
upset.
Friday. I choose violence.
He
with
tries
Got
to
him
make
on the
it
ropes,
personal.
Matthew. You got him on the ropes.
You got him. Just keep swinging. Keep swinging. All right, Matthew, what do you got about the draft, brother?
All right. I think the Packers might have actually had a crystal ball in their room last night.
Really?
I think they might have got a great defensive player, and it looks like they're still going to get a really good tight end at 42 in the second round. There's still about 4 left that are really good.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're the Packers, and at the time it went to your first pick when you got Van Ness, I want to make sure people know this. You didn't know that the wide receivers were still going to be on the board for that long. So maybe you for some reason thought that they would hang on and you'd have a chance again. I just think Van Ness would have been there a little bit later. Why would you not go ahead and take care of, I don't know, getting Jackson Smith and Jigba, or getting one of these big-time wide receivers, and then say with that second pick, with that 42nd overall, or maybe we could trade back late in the first round, we go get that tight end and then the defensive player. I don't hate that they got the defensive player. I just think they went about the order of what they needed to get when they needed to get them backwards. That's my argument.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It really depends on how Van Ness turns out. I've heard
Sure.
He
Joel
better be a
Klatt in
dog.
particular
He better
talk
be a
really
dog.
high about him.
Mm-hmm. Who do you want as a tight end in the second round?
I'm hoping that you guys think Darnell Washington will be there.
Yes, sir, I do.
I think Darnell will be there, but I think if Mayer or somehow Dalton's there, you got to take one.
Well, Dalton got picked.
Dalton got picked. I'm sorry, not Dalton.
Yeah,
I'm losing my mind.
Dalton went to the Bills.
Because it's Darnell, it's Mike Mayer, and there's one more that I'm forgetting. For some reason, his name is escaping me. But between Mayer and Darnell Washington, I do think Mayer's the better tight end.
Yes, he may not be there though.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is there.
Michael Mayer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because Dalton went to
What
the
number?
Bills.
What number do they have in the second round?
42nd. You talking about the Packers? The
Yeah.
Packers have the 42nd pick.
Yeah.
I'd go get Darnell Washington. I
don't
would,
think he'd be
especially with like what type of team you're going to be this year. I don't think Jordan Love's going to absolutely just air it out for y'all. I think y'all going to do a lot of turnaround and handing the ball off. And what better than to look at that tight end position and have a guy who's 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
He was an absolute tree.
Yeah.
And he's only going to get better. That's the thing about Darnell. He's still growing.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Matthew.
Thanks, Matthew.
Hey,
Whatever,
I'm
man.
tracking
Love
it for you.
guys.
Love you too, man. Hey, I need Arkansas baseball to win tonight again.
I took the bites of the damn Vegemite, all right?
Golly. Man, just wiggling his way out of that one, isn't he?
Oh,
Thank you, Matthew.
crawling out.
Got to creep.
Sasha, we got a pickle feet situation.
Oh,
here.
God.
Pickle feet.
Sasha,
We missed your
please
call
don't.
last time. Sasha, what's going on?
Hey guys, in the trust tree right now, I have my Beyond Black Roast, and I have an answer to Jake's question about who misses more than Mel Kiper. And
Here you go.
I watched that paintball shot. That was totally blank.
Two of them came out.
Why
Sasha.
do we need to get a replay of missing it?
Look
there's
at the splatter
There it is
report.
back there, Sasha.
The two, you have the magic bullet theory for JFK, and then you have the paintball theory in Crane and Company.
Look at the splatter report, okay?
The splatter report.
All right, you can tell where the two balls hit.
the splatter report.
As a firearms instructor in my previous previous job, I already know you missed it. It's
How
over.
you gonna
Did you,
argue
hey,
that?
Sasha, did you see him
That's
shaking
fine.
like
There's
this?
That's
no
fine.
repeat.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
shaking. He was
I
shaking.
hope there's a
you
fire extinguisher at your house.
Can't argue with that. Firearm.
We need a slow-mo. Go ahead.
I want to get into what you guys had actually kind of brought up last week about NIL and like Clemson being 3 over their scholarship limit, but they have players that are on NIL. And really my question just for NIL in general is, if you're making NIL or you take NIL money, why don't we just say you don't make a scholarship because you have the money to actually pay for that college?
Here's why.
The big.
Here's all right. Go ahead, Sasha. Finish. I'm gonna tell you why. It's a good question, but there's a good reason.
Well, so in my mind, if you're making, like look at Bijan Robinson last year had NIL deals from Lamborghini and others that were here in Austin. He could afford to pay the $20,000 that it might have cost for room and board and tuition at University of Texas. And he still would have had plenty of NIL money left over. And now that walk-on player that didn't get a scholarship actually has room, and we can actually educate and put more student athletes through that probably aren't going to go to the NFL and make millions and millions of dollars.
Yes, and fiscally, your theory is very sound. It's very logical, but here's the problem. Competitive fairness, okay? Because by saying that you can just use NIL money to pay for a scholarship instead of using a scholarship, you are adding scholarships to teams. Some teams could afford more scholarships because if I'm recruiting a guy and say, listen, I can use your NIL money for you to come here and it's not going to go toward that 85 scholar. There's a reason there's a scholarship cap because it keeps everything as even as you possibly can, even though it's not even. We know teams are better than others. But the minute you start saying instead of a scholarship, we're going to use NIL money, that's basically another scholarship. And then it takes you back into the days when Bear Bryant was at Alabama, when everybody else had 75 scholarships and he had 100 because he'd take guys on the swim team, use that scholarship for football. So what happens if Texas and these big places have NIL money and other schools only have enough NIL money for maybe 3 to 5 scholarships? And in reality, Texas will have 150 guys on scholarship. So that would eat away more at the fairness. And if you notice that 85, you can only have 85 guys on scholarship. And like I said, that's the competitive fairness rule. But another thing that it does, in my opinion, is that it keeps you from using other funds to pay people to play a sport at your school, because that's what the scholarship is designed for. Now, they changed the rule where you used to only be able to have 25 scholarships. You could sign guys in and out each year. But the NCAA changed that to say you could sign as many guys in this class as you want, but you can only have 85 guys on scholarship. And I like that because it would get even more out of control if you started letting them use NIL funds for scholarship.
I think you're going to see some of these programs that don't have nearly the money that Texas and Alabama have, and they're going to say, well, forget competitive fairness. There are no more rules anymore. We're going to do whatever it takes. And Sasha, I think your question is a great one, and it goes well beyond just this scenario where you can have a walk-on or two provided a scholarship. It goes to the point of name, image, and likeness money and these collective dollars where kids, we want more and more, but we don't want to give up anything. And this was the article that I wrote in 2020. This was right before I met you or were affiliated with this show at all. I think it was for the Sports Business Journal. But I was saying, like, a lot of these kids who want to get a lot more money from these collective deals, they don't understand that, well, does the school then have to pay for a scholarship for you?
Yeah.
Or do you have to pay for that now? Like, are you on the hook for that? Do you have to do your own taxes now? Like, do you have to pay for your own meals, or is the program going to provide all your own food? So they want all those things that they were already getting, plus to be able to get rich from the collectives. Now, again, name, image, and likeness, I still consider separately, because if you're making a deal with a third-party advertiser like Dr. Pepper, Bryce Young in the commercial, the school, again, shouldn't have anything to do with that.
Sasha, well, maybe if you gave me firearm training before that.
Oh, I almost hit it.
No, you said it.
No, I said play and I stopped. I said play and I stopped.
Flaming Dragon, you're welcome down to my house here in Texas, and I will take you to the range, and we will get you properly trained so the next time you win a bet, you won't have that issue.
Sasha, but can you sit here and admit today, first of all, Jake said my name.
I did.
Go ahead and go back through that.
You can go back through it. There was no second part of that.
You can sit here today and say that 2 balls came out of that gun when I shot it.
So
that means you pulled the trigger twice.
That means you had twice as.
That's another angle that people aren't talking about.
You had twice the opportunity to hit me.
Who was on the grass?
How did both of them
The
miss?
trajectory.
The trajectory.
The trajectory.
Sasha, we appreciate it. Also, Sasha, we have an All Access Live today. I always see you in there.
Yes.
What time is it? We moved it to
9:30.
9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern.
Looking forward to it, guys. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks. Great question.
Thanks, Sasha. Great question.
Jess in Portland. Jess, what's going on?
Portlandia. Jess?
Talk to us, Jess.
Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
Worried. Now I'm getting really worried, Jess.
Riots going on.
All right. We're going to come back to you, Jess. Don't think we're going to forget about this. Sean in Baton Rouge. What's going on, Sean?
I love Baton Rouge.
No one's talking to me.
Oh, here we go.
Slim requesting clearance for takeoff.
Paul Fine Slim?
Clearance is a go.
Yeah.
Call sign Slim.
Clearance is a go.
Call sign Slim. Gotcha. I thought that was a Paul Feinbaum play on words. I thought he said Paul Fine Slim. Oh, that was funny. Baton Rouge, what's up, man?
Everybody's got these sentence-long, triple hyphenated call signs. One word, one syllable. We're keeping it clean.
Easy, breezy,
Simple
beautiful.
Baby
Cover girl.
Slim.
Here's what I want to know. Why is it that the city of New Orleans must, not want to, must take the battles with injury guy, okay? Michael Thomas, Anthony Davis, Trevor Penning, Zion Williamson. Why must we suffer? Why is every year what if? I like the guy. I think he has great potential. I know he's a great character. I'm not questioning that at all. But why not take Nolan Smith? Why not take the guy who plays every game and kills it?
Well, Nolan was hurt most of his senior year.
That's a good point. But Slim, I want to say this. I get it. I get why you're upset. It's one, right? If it's one guy on one team, it happens to everybody, right? We see it all the time. But it seems like it's everybody when it comes down to the Saints and the teams out of New Orleans, the Pels. I mean, at what point do you start like wondering, like, is it me? Like, is it us? It is you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 4 times, fire everybody in New Orleans. That's my new saying, Slim. I agree with you. I don't think there's a great counter argument to that because the proof's in the pudding.
I agree on the Zion Williamson talk. Michael Thomas was such an elite wide receiver. I'm surprised to see these injuries plague him as much as they have. But they did go get Chris Olave, which I thought this past season could take some of the pressure off Michael Thomas. I had him on my fantasy team just on a flyer in those middle rounds. He ended up having a couple 20-point games early, but then again, missed most of the season.
Well,
it's
the thing about Zion is not even if he's mentally injured, which is a lot different than what New Orleans did. But I really like the Brian Breesy pick. I think he's going to be a hell of a starter.
You've been big on Brian Breesy.
I really like
Brian
look,
Breesy
man.
guy.
I'll never be upset about you taking anybody on the D line or the O line. I just can't get upset about it. All right, but he did go through some injuries. He's a bigger guy, but I think Brian is going. I don't think he's going to get as injured in the NFL. I think he's going to be a quality starter. I was surprised kind of the Saints went defensive line because they did pretty well on the defensive line. I thought they're going to pick up maybe another piece of receiver, but I like the Brian Breesy pick. I think you can't go wrong with D lineman from Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it, Sean.
Thanks, Slim.
Thanks so much, man. All right, let's go to TriStar in Chattanooga. TriStar, are you on the line?
Chattanooga.
Oh man, Jake, how you doing, my guy?
What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. Well, currently I'm sitting here in Indiana. I've been sitting here watching that draft. Me and a mutual friend of ours, good old stunt man, Mr. Ratcliffe himself.
Oh yeah.
We was talking about this draft, and he's like, "Now look, I don't know about but yeah, Stuntman's a great guy. He played. If y'all know, he played baseball at Auburn back in the 90s.
Yep.
Anyways,
I know, John.
So, anyways, people are kind of getting on the Lions' case about taking Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I feel like they were wanting a running back, and I'm kind of happy because he's a local guy. He's from North Georgia. He was trained by Gerald Riggs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy for him. I even sent him a message. I was like, hey, I'm glad a local guy finally made it. Now we just need Lab McConkey, then the North Georgia contention.
Yes. The accountant.
I should have drafted Stetson.
Yeah. I want to say this. I'm happy for Jahmyr Gibbs. Congrats, man. You got the bag. I think it surprised a lot of people, and it's always great when a local guy gets it. But I do think if you're a Lions fan that you should have qualms with this pick. I mean, could you have gotten Jahmyr Gibbs later? Probably. Did anybody have Jahmyr Gibbs going off in the top 15? I just feel like...
He didn't have himself. He said he was shocked.
Yeah, I
rejected 42nd pick.
Yeah, so look, he can be a dynamic player. I like what he can do in the passing game. I think you can use him as a Swiss Army knife. He is not Bijan Robinson when it comes to talent level, but he does have enough gas to leave people in the NFL, and he can catch the ball coming out of the backfield. I worry about him in pass pro, but I just feel like you passed up on a lot better players, or you passed up on an opportunity to trade back and get more draft capital. I just feel like you reached. I feel like this was an overthink. I feel like this was a panic move. I feel like there was a lot of different moving parts in the draft early than what I think the Lions might have thought, and for some reason they reached and got Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, does that mean Jahmyr Gibbs won't be a hell of a player? No, it could end up being a great pick and a genius pick, and I hope for Jahmyr and the Lions' sake, who I'm rooting for, that it does work out. But I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination, or there should be anybody overly thrilled with the decision outside of Jahmyr Gibbs and his family.
I just don't get. I
don't get it either.
Right? Because I mean, Jamal Williams isn't there anymore, but you just signed David Montgomery to a 3-year deal, right? You have him and DeAndre Swift for the 1 and 2. So
Talking about Georgia running backs, you have DeAndre Swift.
I just don't get the pick. If anything, go secondary, right? You just lost one of your corners from Ohio State you picked a couple years ago. Go secondary.
And there was DB still on the board, like all over the board.
I mean, you're sitting at 12. I mean, there's plenty of fire DBs still on the board. I just don't understand the thought process behind it.
Yeah, unless this is like Saquon Barkley has fallen, a talent like that, and you just feel like you have to take him. But Jake made a great point the other day. When you're trying to decide what your team needs, especially in these first 2 rounds, it's best to go with what is everyone making fun of your team about?
Yes.
What are the memes
Easy
about?
answer.
And I saw memes last fall about the Detroit Lions defense that just, they couldn't stop anyone.
No,
right?
we're secondary in the league.
They couldn't stop anyone. So it seemed like an easy thing to shore up early, especially if you thought Jahmyr Gibbs was going to fall to you. Because they had 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
But either way, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be, that offense is dynamic. So come the fall, we're going to be clapping, cheering him on, and it'll be great.
Yeah, we'll see. TriStar, thanks, brother.
Thanks, TriStar, brother.
All right, boys, we have an answer. After multiple replays, it was very difficult. And also from a veto from a certain fiance.
Just say he said my name.
Yep, vetoed.
Here's the answer.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry. I swear I listened to it multiple times. Reed is on your side, Jake.
Because I didn't say it.
He wanted to use the veto, but
I can't. So I can't say anything that starts with a B, an L, or an A. Then
can, and you said Blaine can.
I said Blaine.
We can't even say anything with BLAIN anymore, man.
No, I can't say anything. I can't say
so sorry.
black. I
listened to
can't
it like 16
say
times.
bladder. I can't say anything because you guys are the word police, and it's ridiculous.
And Blay are different. Blaine,
No, they're not. Not in your eyes. Not in your eyes. Put your hand away.
it's a short A
After
and a
what you
long
did with
A.
that Vegemite yesterday, you should
I
automatically
can't even get a
lose.
handshake.
No, not yet. Not right now.
Not right
Can't
now.
even get a hand. Don't
Let me get
blame
one
me.
more.
No.
Blame. He said all three.
Hey, let me ask you
I know.
this.
I'm throwing a perfect
He said all
game.
three.
Hey, let me ask you this. Since Blaine missed with the paintball shot and spit out the you stop it now. Like who cares now?
Stop having
Who
fun
cares
with
now?
Keep 'em coming.
Yeah,
Keep 'em coming.
yeah.
Blaine,
Since
Blaine,
Blaine
Blaine.
chickened out of the Vegemite bet,
Keep them coming.
hey, you want equal
Y'all
rights?
are
We
the
can get some
best
equal
in
rights.
there.
I'm hitting that button.
Y'all are the best in there. I love y'all.
Yeah.
Last week you hated him. Last week it was
Yeah.
collusion.
Because it was
He's a
collusion.
fence
That's not
jumper.
collusion.
God.
That's
He's
a
a
fair
fence jumper.
fight.
ESPN.
That's a fair
Yeah.
fight. Y'all colluded for
There
a
he
graphic
is.
last week.
Hey,
Look,
thank you.
man.
Hey, thanks for making good on your bet last night.
Yeah.
You're a real man.
And you
for doing
too.
it. Thank
and
you.
you too, because I know you don't like that cranberry sauce.
I hate it.
Out of the can,
I hate it.
especially what
Didn't
you've
spit it out.
All right. So
Man of
Noah,
the people.
Noah, Steve, Sam, bunch of people on the lines. Hey, y'all need to call
It's
in
already
on Monday.
7:50?
Y'all need to call in on Monday. What you want a new promo code? A new
What's the word we want? What about this? What about this? What if the word is spladoosh?
All right, say Pongo next time.
I like that better than pickle feet.
Pickle feet was good.
No,
People
that's
use
awful.
it.
Pickle feet's not a winner.
You don't like spladoosh?
Also, and
winner.
Steve too. Have your Richard Todd. Richard Todd signed your cards last night. We're sending those in the mail today,
Yeah,
brother.
and remember, we have merch. Go to the Originals under at the Real Daily Wire. Check it out. Grab that merch. We want to put new stuff in there. Go ahead and buy it out. Use that with Jen Sell and all our sponsors. I'm headed over to the board.
While you're walking over there, I have something new for you guys. Fun Fact Friday.
Really? What
Ready
is
for
that?
some fun facts on Friday?
Give me your facts.
All right. First fact, NFL edition. Only 9 franchises have drafted 2 or more Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Only 9 franchises. The Chargers are one of those. They've drafted 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, despite never having won a Super Bowl themselves.
That's tough. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Because they drafted Eli Manning
Manning.
and traded him to the Giants. All right, next one, NFL edition, Fun Fact Friday. The Detroit Tigers have drafted the same number of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks as the Detroit Lions.
What?
The Tigers drafted a 19-year-old Patrick Mahomes in the
That's
37th
right.
round of the 2014
Out here throwing 7 different
NFL
kinds of smoke.
draft. And then the Lions
That's incredible.
drafted Matthew Stafford
Who won it with the
to win
Rams?
it and won it with the Rams.
Well,
I like that, David. I like.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Hey, you want to hear the craziest
Wanna hear a
fact?
fun fact?
Yeah.
You know, in the course of an average lifetime, while sleeping, you might eat around 70 assorted insects and 10 spiders.
I've heard that. I don't
I don't
buy
believe
it.
that.
Not
I
me.
refuse
You
to
know
believe
why?
that for
You know
multiple
why?
reasons.
CPAP mask.
Do you know that if a player,
Man.
do you know that if a player stole 50 bases for the next 28 seasons, they still wouldn't tie Ricky Henderson?
Fun fact.
You know, there's 293 ways to make change for $1.
Okay.
Just don't look at me with
this
that
was
mask
a one-time
on and say
segment.
that.
This was a one-time
This is fun. I like where this is going.
This is great.
I like where this is going. We
Had a
put
great
liquid paper
time.
on a bee. It died. Our bets are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app right now and sign up with code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, and new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. I'm starting to get pissed off about the Flamin' Dragon thing again. I don't know why, but halfway
Sorry.
through. No, I don't want your apology.
apologize.
You know what you do? Write me a letter, okay? I'm not going to finish that, but you know what I'd do with it. So,
Cone, I mean, he's apologized to Cone. He didn't say it one time.
Throwing a
said it to
perfect
both
game,
of you.
just like David Cones do. Throwing a perfect game.
No,
I'm
it's
creating
no.
rules of
The goal is to
engagement,
turn
don't
them
worry.
I don't want your damn rules of engagement.
rules
I
of
want you to
engagement are
understand when I say the word blah and
Look,
stop
look.
that it's not
I will show it
blah.
to you.
I don't want you to show it to me. I don't want any evidence.
I want
I
you to
said
be-
I didn't want salmon.
Hey,
I
that's
said
want
it
some
9
accountability.
times.
Jake, if I ever get in trouble, man, with the law, I need you to be my attorney.
It's just unbelievable. This man didn't even put his picks up here today, and y'all reward him yet again.
You didn't write my picks up there.
You didn't tell him to me. David sends me his every morning in a beautifully constructed text message with his and Ace Cones. It takes 30 seconds. Here's what I got today.
Ask me.
South Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, and LSU money line. That's college baseball at plus 362. Give me the Lakers money line. Then the Lakers Grizzlies over 218, please. And Golden State money line that's at plus 267. I'm just, 3 sheets to the wind at the end of the month, just seeing if I can ride with the fear.
All right, boys. Sergio, who runs our pick tracker, he's on top right now.
We got a weekend, though. We got a weekend. Blaine still has 30 bets.
I went 2-0 yesterday, but so did pick tracker, so I'm really going after it today. I'm going to take the Canes, Bruins, and the Avs, all money line in a parlay. That's plus 417. Then I'm going to take the Kings plus 8.5 and the Grizzlies plus 8.5 in a parlay. That's plus 151.
What do you got?
All right. My first bet. Cubs, Twins, Pirates, Yankees, money line.
Really? What's that?
It's plus 1175.
Wow.
I love it.
And then give me NHL, Canes, money line.
Okay.
Plus 102 on the road against the Islanders.
All right, excuse me, on an island against the Islanders.
Close out the series.
All right.
Yeah, Canes been there. Hashtag been there. Hashtag done that.
Booster Club, what up?
All right.
Remember, all access 9:30. That's a dirty 9:30.
All right, let's go to Kennedy Seg. What up, Kennedy? $5 donation. He says, I've been listening since day one. He's an OG. I'm a former competitive swimmer and a female. She's an OG. Thank you for fighting for women's sports. It's so appreciated.
Who was that?
That is Kennedy Seg.
Kennedy, we appreciate that. We're here to do it. I said the first time we talked about it, this is not a one-day thing. This is not a we check a box, you know how we feel and move on. We'll fight every day for this because it's ridiculous. And we feel, or at least I feel, like, our responsibility as men is to help protect women. Not that they're helpless or they can't help themselves, but that's part of the deal. And this is just an absolute joke. We went from men storming beaches to wearing bikinis on them, trying to take away women's sports. What a disgrace. You guys are pathetic.
Okay, let's go to Ben Johnson, $5 donation. When I first saw Blaine with this mask, I thought he was going to the black tie ball with Pierce Brosnan.
That's a James Bond reference, and I love it.
It's hurt my feelings, why don't you, Ben?
That's he's comparing you to Pierce Brosnan? Who's probably like a top 5 good-looking.
Pierce Brosnan.
The James Bond you remember, not Daniel Craig.
Cowboys and Aliens guy?
No, that's Daniel Craig.
Okay.
Pierce Brosnan's like 007, man.
The true OG.
The true OG 007.
Ben.
Good-looking cat.
That's Sean Connery.
Ben, you're good-looking cat.
Sean Connery's not the real James Bond.
I was thinking Eyes Wide Shut with you. The Eyes Wide Shut ball.
It's like, listen here, I'm James Bond, Trey.
You know that one?
The Eyes Wide Shut ball?
Watch Eyes Wide Shut this
I'm probably not. Feels
it's tough to
I don't know
see.
what that means, but it sounds like disrespect. Watch your mouth.
It's tough to see.
No,
Here at Smart Tech, we run this thing.
Yeah.
Let's go to Cole Frink, the king of donations, other than Stephen Moore. $2 donations.
Other than Stephen Moore.
I'm hearing excuses from Jake. It needs to be a number one hit on the charts.
Oh, again, I told you I'll be here Monday with the song.
All right.
Y'all think I'm kidding.
Coffee Guy Sports, $2 donation. Who will be better long-term in the SEC? OU or them Horns?
This is a very hard question to answer.
Answer it.
And part of me, the part of you fiscally wants to say Texas because they're such a big brand. But there's something about Oklahoma.
Look at the last
Give
10
me
years.
Oklahoma, man. I like Brent Venables too.
Oklahoma's
Something
done.
about him just makes me pissed off for greatness.
All right.
I get it, man.
All right. Do you get it? Do you get it?
I understand.
It's like Jonah Hill. Remember when he's on Forgetting Sarah Marshall and he brought the demo.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. He walks up. He's like, "Hey, did you get a chance to listen to my demo?" He's like, "Did you get it? Like, did you get it?"
Go to Maximum Vol, $10 donation. Y'all made the draft watchable last night. If you ever come down to chat, first round's on me. Hashtag Bud Light from old Blaney. In all seriousness, God bless Cranny Cup, beginning of the show, sports show renaissance. Maximum Vol.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Ouch. But thank you at the same time.
Yes.
Let's go to Carson Everett, $5 donation. Shout out from the 334.
Oh,
It's
okay.
my twin brothers Martin's birthday today. Keep up the fantastic work, fellas.
Yes, twins, Basil. Happy level up day.
They're sea bass. with laser on their heads. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Charles,
Are they angry?
Are they angry? Charles Dossett, $10 donation. I donated 3 times this morning. Blaine missed all of them.
Wow. What
A
is
thief of joy.
That is cap, bro.
Charles, I want to tell you 3 times thank you. God bless you, and may the odds forever
Charles.
be in your favor.
Don't blame me. Blame the iPad. All right? It's not my fault. I can't scroll up. It won't let me.
Hey.
He can't, guys. He can't turn left.
I can't scroll up.
He can't turn left. He's not an ambidextrous.
He's right. It does. It happened to me on the laptop too. I'm working on
I tell you what. Why don't you just come and bail him out again?
Golly.
I
How about
just
that?
hate this
You know what?
fucking
Blame
bird.
Like a wounded bird over
You're
there.
You need me on that one. You want
You're just like a bank. Take all the chances you want.
All right, let
we'll
me
bail
finish
you
this.
out
Let me finish
anyway.
this donation. Says he is mid. I reposted my question in the Daily Wire chat. Let me get to these donations. I'll go find it real quick, Charles. Mike RFF, it's a lifestyle. He said Jake should write a song called The Wambulance.
How about who read that? Who
Mike
posted
RFF.
that?
Mike RFF.
Mark F.
It's a lifestyle.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make the song called
something.
"Where'd My Who Stole Mike RFF."
Heartbroken Hog, great.
I'll have him back by dinner.
$2 donation after last night's disaster. The under still hits.
Yes, it did. It did.
It didn't.
We all know it did. The real ones know. The underground knows. The rebellion going against a dark emperor, also known as PJ.
Okay, here we go. All right, Charles Dossett, 6242 in California. Woke up at 4:30 this morning to join you.
My guy.
And Flaming Dragon ignored my donations. Okay, calm down.
We
Mr.
got you.
Perfect.
Hey, we got you.
Did you see the Olympic gold medalist Gable Stevenson unretiring from wrestling and tech falling everyone on his opponents at the U.S. Open? He finished the current NCAA HW champ in about 3 minutes.
I did not see that.
I didn't see that.
Well, that's dominance. I love to see that. Let me come out of retirement. But all right, real quick, get through any more donos we need to get through?
Nope, that's it. No,
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, poll.
Great week, y'all.
Poll.
Poll.
Who won the first round of the draft?
Oh,
Voices?
The Eagles.
Yeah.
and that's it.
Texans. Seahawks. The field.
Give me the Texans.
Yeah.
41%.
2 picks in the top 3. Texans, 42%.
Eagles. 41%.
Wow.
Okay.
Texans. 39%.
Good. We're right at it.
Seahawks 7%. The field 13%.
Right.
Seahawks had a good draft.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for making draft night incredible. Make sure you subscribe. Check out everything on the Daily Wire Plus. It's fantastic stuff. And like the chances of it making sense for the Lions to take Jahmyr Gibbs at number 12. We're going. Gone.